Chosen one, what I'm about to reveal may challenge everything you thought you knew. If these words have found you, it is no coincidence. You were led here because the world has just witnessed your crossing into God mode, an ascension so profound it cannot be reversed. Before we go deeper into this revelation, take a moment to pause and do three things. Hit that like button, subscribe to help us reach 30,000 subscribers, and leave a comment with the number 11 to signal your alignment with this awakening. Now understand this. You have overturned the veil and revealed something ancient, something woven into the forgotten civilizations of the past. Scholars around the world are now confirming what the hidden manuscripts and excavated texts have been implying for decades. You are from the God civilization, the primordial society that shaped creation itself. The myths were never fictions. They were echoes of your return. In your ascension, history has rewritten itself around your presence. You did not rise through force, but through divine alignment with the sacred process only the gods were believed capable of completing. And now, as researchers, ancient records, and cosmic signs declare your transformation undeniable, one truth stands unshaken. You have done the very thing that could stabilize creation. You have taken the step that may save the universe. This moment is unlike any other in the history of existence. The Chosen One's ascension into God mode is not just a transformation, it is a fundamental shift in reality itself. Imagine a force so immense that it bends the laws of time, space, and history. This is the threshold humanity has been waiting for, the awakening that was once whispered in myths, prophecies, and ancient texts. It is the pivot upon which the universe balances, the point where potential becomes manifestation, and the unimaginable becomes tangible. Every heartbeat of the cosmos resonates with this irreversible act, and the world stands in awe, watching as destiny unfolds before its very eyes. Witnessing the Chosen One's transformation fills me with awe, not just at the power displayed, but at the depth of meaning behind it. This ascension is not an act of dominance or conquest. It is a symphony of purpose, a convergence of destiny that touches every living being. The emotional weight of knowing that an individual can embody the wisdom, memory, and vision of a civilization older than time itself is staggering. In my view, this is the truest form of heroism, the courage to carry the weight of the cosmos while remaining aligned with harmony, balance, and creation itself. The world held its breath as the Chosen One reached a moment unlike any other, a threshold from which there would be no return. In that instant, the familiar boundaries of mortality, of human limitation, dissolved into something greater. Every onlooker felt a collective shiver as the air seemed to shimmer with possibility, and the fabric of reality itself appeared to bend around the presence of one being who was no longer bound by ordinary existence. It was not merely a transformation, it was an unveiling of cosmic truth, the kind of revelation that changes the very perception of life. The threshold represented more than power. It symbolized awakening. Ancient prophecies whispered across civilizations spoke of this moment, but never had anyone truly believed it could be witnessed in real time. Scholars and mystics alike gasped as they realized that the Chosen One was not simply stepping into legend, they were reshaping it. Every particle in the environment seemed to resonate with a silent, profound energy, as though the universe itself acknowledged the arrival of its rightful heir. This irreversible crossing was a declaration. The Chosen One had aligned fully with the divine blueprint. Mortals could only watch, hearts pounding with awe and fear, as a being walked beyond the limitations of flesh, mind, and time. It was a reminder that destiny is not always gentle, and that some awakenings demand complete surrender to forces far greater than ourselves. The earth itself seemed to pulse with a new rhythm, a heartbeat that echoed the unfolding of history itself. In that transformative moment, the Chosen One became a living testament to the power of alignment between purpose and creation. No longer a figure bound by human ambition or desire, they became a vessel through which ancient energies flowed. Energies capable of awakening forgotten civilizations and resurrecting the truths buried in legend. The air thrummed with anticipation, a promise that reality was about to be rewritten in ways no one could yet comprehend. The irreversible threshold was not a spectacle of dominance, but of cosmic responsibility. It revealed that true power comes not from control, but from harmony with the universe's deepest currents. The awakening was not subtle. It was a blazing crescendo that resonated through every corner of existence. Eyes lifted, hearts paused, and even the stars seemed to align in acknowledgement of the Chosen One's presence. It was as though every element, from the smallest grain of sand to the farthest celestial body, recognized the magnitude of what had occurred. The awakening was visible, palpable, undeniable, a cosmic signal that humanity and the cosmos alike could never ignore. This revelation sparked a cascade of wonder and fear. The Chosen One's consciousness radiated a clarity and depth that humans had never witnessed, thoughts intertwined with history and destiny, revealing patterns and connections hidden for millennia. Scholars scrambled to make sense of texts that had previously been dismissed as myth. Every ancient inscription, every forgotten artifact, suddenly took on new meaning, forming a tapestry of knowledge that connected the past, present, and future. People felt their very perceptions shift. The awakening was more than a personal transformation. It was a universal recalibration. Civilization itself seemed to breathe differently, as if the collective awareness of humanity had been subtly altered. The Chosen One became both a mirror and a guide, showing the world the truths it had long feared were unattainable. The emotional weight of witnessing such profound revelation was overwhelming, a mix of reverence, hope, and an almost unbearable sense of responsibility. Legends came alive in ways that were tangible and undeniable. Ancient myths, once relegated to bedtime stories or dusty archives, now resonated with an authenticity that stunned even the most skeptical. They spoke not only of gods and heroes, but of cycles of awakening and renewal, and suddenly the Chosen One was the living embodiment of those cycles. Humanity began to grasp that history was not static. It had been waiting, watching, and responding to forces far beyond ordinary comprehension. In the aftermath, there was a silence that carried the weight of eternity. People could no longer view the world as they once had. A profound understanding had been unlocked, and the universe seemed to pulse with a new rhythm. This cosmic awakening was a testament to the possibility that one being fully aligned with purpose and destiny could change the perception of existence itself. The Chosen One had become the focal point of a living legend, one that the world could neither deny nor forget. When the Chosen One ascended, it was not just a personal journey, it was a turning point for the entirety of civilization. Societies that had long functioned under static rules suddenly experienced a shift in perception and understanding. Political, spiritual, and scientific frameworks trembled as new connections became apparent, as if the universe itself was demanding recognition of the divine alignment now walking among mortals. The structures of culture and knowledge began to reorient themselves around the presence of the Chosen One. Scholars pored over long-forgotten tomes, engineers and architects re-evaluated the principles of balance and structure, and artists captured visions that seemed to arise directly from cosmic memory. Civilization was bending in response to a single consciousness, one that carried the legacy of the god civilization and the wisdom of millennia. Every city, every community felt the ripple effects of this monumental shift. People reported experiences that defied explanation. Visions of ancient cities, glimpses of civilizations that had never been recorded, and a deep sense of connection to forces far older than human history. The Chosen One was a bridge across time, linking the present with forgotten epochs, proving that humanity had always been part of something far larger. It became clear that the ascension was more than a personal awakening. It was the activation of latent potential within civilization itself. Communities found unity in unexpected ways, and conflicts that had seemed insurmountable began to dissolve under the weight of a new understanding. The Chosen One's presence was a catalyst, not through coercion or fear, but through inspiration and alignment with the cosmic order. Ultimately, this moment marked the recognition that humanity's trajectory was not random. The rise of the Chosen One demonstrated that civilizations are capable of profound transformation when guided by the principles of harmony, foresight, and cosmic purpose. History itself was bending, reshaping, and unfolding around a force that had always existed but had finally manifested in a form visible to all. As the Chosen One's awareness expanded, a veil over history was lifted, revealing civilizations long forgotten by time. Ancient cities, buried beneath layers of earth and myth, became tangible in the minds of scholars and seekers. The Chosen One's consciousness acted as a beacon, connecting fragments of knowledge scattered across continents. The Chosen One activated latent memories embedded within humanity, triggering an intuitive understanding of technologies, philosophies, and spiritual practices that had vanished millennia ago. Architects and engineers began to design structures inspired by principles never before documented, while philosophers found the foundations of morality and cosmic law embedded in these ancient systems. People everywhere began to feel the emotional weight of rediscovery. Generations had been searching for meaning in fragments, and now the Chosen One offered clarity. There was a mixture of awe, relief, and reverence as humanity realized it had been part of a greater story all along, one that transcended ordinary history and connected with the very origins of creation itself. The Chosen One had become a living bridge, a proof that knowledge lost to time could be reclaimed. Even the most skeptical historians could not ignore the evidence aligning with the Chosen One's awakening. Patterns in ancient art, language, and architecture suddenly formed an undeniable coherence. Every discovery reinforced the notion that pre-human civilizations were not isolated anomalies but integral steps in a continuous divine plan. Humanity's past was not random. It was meticulously designed, awaiting this moment of revelation. By unveiling these hidden connections, the Chosen One reshaped the collective understanding of identity and lineage. People began to perceive themselves as inheritors of wisdom far older than they had imagined, imbued with a responsibility to honor and continue the legacy of civilizations that had walked the earth before them. History was no longer a linear record. It was a living tapestry, rewritten and illuminated by one extraordinary being. Through the Chosen One, the ancient god civilization, long thought extinct and mythologized, returned, not as a legend, but as a palpable force. Their ideals, inventions, and spiritual truths flowed once again into the world, carried within the consciousness of a single person. It was as if the civilization itself had never truly left, but had been dormant, waiting for the right alignment of time, destiny, and awareness to emerge. The impact was immediate. Scholars, mystics, and leaders alike noticed shifts in understanding that could not be explained by human logic alone. Knowledge of astronomy, energy manipulation, and metaphysical laws that had been encoded in myths now manifested in clear, actionable insight. Humanity was witnessing the resurrection of a civilization capable of shaping worlds, and the Chosen One was its living embodiment. This return brought a profound emotional resonance. People wept, cheered, and fell to their knees, recognizing that they were witnesses to the resurgence of a force that had seeded creation itself. Every culture sensed the presence of this godly legacy in their own myths and stories. It was a unifying moment, transcending borders, ideologies, and centuries of separation. Humanity was reminded of its shared origin. Technology and philosophy evolved overnight as the god civilization's principles manifested in human understanding. Structures designed to channel energy, texts that revealed universal patterns, and moral frameworks emphasizing balance and cosmic responsibility became visible and applicable. The Chosen One was not only a guide, but the conduit through which these civilizations' wisdom returned to the world. Ultimately, the return of the god civilization through the Chosen One proved that myths were never fabrications. They were records of truth, awaiting the moment when humanity could comprehend and implement them. Through this awakening, the past, present, and future converged, offering the world a chance to participate in a legacy that transcended mortality and touched the divine. Legends whispered across millennia suddenly ignited into vivid reality. Tales of gods, cosmic beings, and hidden powers were no longer distant stories. They were frameworks of truth. The Chosen One's transformation acted as a catalyst, activating myths encoded in cultural consciousness across the globe. From the pyramids of Egypt to the ruins of Mesopotamia, symbols and inscriptions glowed with renewed significance, revealing patterns that had been invisible for centuries. People experienced this activation in deeply personal ways. Dreamers, artists, and seers reported visions of events that had long been written in sacred texts. Communities felt a surge of collective awareness, as though an ancient frequency had been tuned back into existence. It was both humbling and exhilarating to realize that what was once thought magical or allegorical was, in fact, a reflection of the universe's hidden structure. The emotional impact was profound. Individuals felt connected not only to the Chosen One, but to their ancestors, their myths, and the eternal cycles of existence. Humanity could finally integrate myth and fact, imagination and reason into a single, awe-inspiring framework. Through this activation, the Chosen One showed that myths were not constraints, but keys. They were encoded blueprints of consciousness, tools meant to guide civilizations toward harmony with the cosmos. With each awakened myth, humanity stepped closer to understanding its true place in the universe, under the guidance of a being who embodied the wisdom of ages. The Chosen One's presence altered not only perception, but the very flow of time. Events previously fixed as history seemed to realign, revealing the truth behind obscured timelines and forgotten occurrences. The pulse of their awakening resonated through every moment, creating ripples that redefined cause and effect, past and future. Scholars observed records and relics shifting in meaning, revealing a continuity that had been invisible before this cosmic realignment. Time was no longer linear, but fluid, bending in response to the Chosen One's consciousness. Past mistakes and forgotten achievements became lessons ready to be understood. Civilizations previously believed to be lost were recontextualized, their contributions acknowledged and integrated into humanity's shared narrative. This rewriting was not chaotic, it was deliberate, a careful unfolding in line with the divine blueprint of creation. The emotional resonance of this shift was overwhelming. People felt a sense of liberation, as if centuries of confusion and ignorance were suddenly lifted. Grief transformed into clarity, regret into insight, and curiosity into understanding. Humanity experienced a collective awakening to its own potential, guided by the pulse of one being whose alignment with the cosmos was absolute. Even modern systems, governmental, scientific, and cultural, began to adapt intuitively. Discoveries previously dismissed as anomalies suddenly made sense. Ancient techniques in architecture, medicine, and energy manipulation were revisited and applied with newfound understanding. The rewriting of time allowed humanity to bridge gaps between eras, integrating ancient knowledge with contemporary innovation. Ultimately, the Chosen One demonstrated that time is not merely a sequence of moments, but a living tapestry, responsive to consciousness and purpose. Through their awakening, humanity glimpsed a new reality where the past, present, and future were harmonized, and destiny was no longer a mystery, but a journey guided by alignment with the universe. Absolutely. Here's the Chosen One's ascension was more than a personal awakening. It was a realignment with the cosmic order itself. Ancient energies, long dormant, responded to their presence, reshaping the invisible architecture of the universe. Stars, planets, and the very fabric of space seemed to harmonize with the rhythm of their consciousness. This alignment was not visible to the naked eye alone, but could be felt deep within the hearts of all who witnessed it. A silent reverberation that spoke of destiny fulfilled. This alignment restored balance between realms that had been drifting apart for eons. The forces that govern creation, the spiritual, the elemental, and the temporal, found coherence through the Chosen One. Humanity sensed this shift intuitively. Conflicts cooled, and a sense of unity began to emerge across previously fractured societies. It was as if the universe itself had whispered, "This is the moment we have awaited." The emotional weight of this alignment was profound. Individuals experienced a mixture of awe, relief, and reverent fear, understanding that the Chosen One's actions had consequences far beyond ordinary comprehension. Each person felt, in their own way, the threads of existence being rewoven into patterns of beauty, intelligence, and harmony. Even skeptics were compelled to recognize that the universe had responded to something extraordinary. Historical records suddenly made sense in ways they never had before. Ancient temples, monuments, and texts, long misunderstood or dismissed, revealed intricate designs based on celestial patterns. The Chosen One's alignment activated these ancient systems, demonstrating that the god civilization had encoded universal knowledge into every aspect of life, waiting for the right consciousness to unlock it. Ultimately, this alignment bridged the gap between the human and the divine. The Chosen One did not dominate the cosmos. They resonated with it, serving as a conduit for forces that were vast, intelligent, and benevolent. In doing so, they reminded humanity that the universe is not a chaotic void, but a living system capable of responding to purpose and intention. Its activation allowed the Chosen One to influence reality in ways previously reserved for gods. Every thought, emotion, and intention now had a ripple effect across the cosmos. Patterns of energy shifted, restoring balance in areas previously destabilized by human conflict and cosmic imbalance. The mechanism was precise, operating not by brute force, but through resonance and alignment, ensuring that every intervention harmonized with the natural and divine laws governing existence. The emotional weight of this activation was immense. The Chosen One experienced the profound responsibility of wielding forces that could shape civilizations, redirect histories, and heal or destabilize worlds. With this power came humility, understanding that mastery required wisdom and compassion rather than dominance. Humanity, observing from afar, felt both awe and reassurance as they witnessed this delicate balance. Historical and cultural frameworks suddenly resonated with new clarity. Ancient rituals, symbols, and philosophies revealed themselves as components of the divine mechanism, encoded to guide the awakening of a being capable of restoring cosmic equilibrium. Humanity began to perceive these systems not as relics, but as living instructions for conscious alignment with the universe. Ultimately, the activation of the divine mechanism demonstrated that ascension is not about acquiring power, but about fulfilling purpose. The Chosen One became the fulcrum through which creation's intricate design could operate, restoring balance and guiding civilizations toward a harmonious coexistence with the cosmos. The Chosen One's rise was not an isolated event, but the pivot on which the fate of entire worlds turned. From the smallest ecosystems to the vastness of galaxies, subtle shifts occurred, as if the universe itself adjusted to a new axis of balance and order. Civilizations that had been teetering on the edge of collapse found stability, while dormant systems of energy and knowledge sprang to life under the influence of aligned consciousness. This turning point was both dramatic and quiet. While the effects were monumental, the process unfolded with a natural grace, as though the universe had been waiting patiently for the right moment to restore harmony. People experienced a renewed sense of purpose, a feeling that the chaos and uncertainty of the past were finally giving way to a path illuminated by clarity and intention. Emotionally, the world was transformed. Fear and doubt gave way to hope. Despair shifted into inspiration, and individuals felt a profound connection to something far greater than themselves. The Chosen One's ascension became a collective awakening, uniting humanity in recognition of a reality that transcended individual lives and mortal concerns. The ripple effects were evident in governance, science, and culture. Conflicts that had seemed intractable were mitigated through understanding. Innovation accelerated as knowledge from ancient civilizations was integrated, and art flourished as humanity expressed its newfound comprehension of existence. The turning point was not merely cosmic, it was deeply human. Ultimately, the Chosen One's ascension demonstrated that the universe responds to alignment, purpose, and conscious action. One being, fully attuned to the divine order, became the catalyst for transformation across all levels of existence, showing that destiny can be realized when consciousness and cosmic design converge. The Chosen One wielded a subtle, silent power, one that did not demand attention, but nonetheless reshaped the way humanity understood itself and the universe. This power was not about spectacle or dominance. It was about revelation, connection, and the awakening of latent potential. Through quiet influence, the Chosen One allowed humans to perceive patterns, truths, and possibilities that had always been present but remained unseen. This power manifested in everyday experiences. People reported moments of insight that felt divinely inspired, breakthroughs in science and philosophy, and sudden recognition of connections between seemingly unrelated disciplines. Education, research, and spiritual practice were all enhanced as humanity began to think and feel in harmony with a higher consciousness. Emotionally, this power resonated deeply. Individuals felt both humbled and inspired, recognizing that the universe had always been more than what they perceived. The Chosen One's silent guidance encouraged introspection, empathy, and reverence, teaching humanity that true understanding arises not from force, but from awareness and alignment. Historical narratives shifted as well. Events once considered coincidences or anomalies were now understood as part of a coherent design, revealing the subtle interplay between human actions and cosmic principles. The Chosen One stood at a unique juncture, a bridge between the human and divine, past and future, known and unknown. Ancient codes, encoded by civilizations that had understood the laws of the cosmos, began to unlock through their presence. These codes were not simple instructions, but multi-layered systems of knowledge, guiding the unfolding of consciousness, civilization, and energy in precise harmony. Unlocking these codes revealed hidden structures within society, nature, and consciousness. Humans began to recognize patterns in thought, behavior, and technology that had previously been invisible. Ancient architectural designs, ritual practices, and mathematical sequences suddenly became relevant, offering solutions to problems that had long plagued humanity. The emotional resonance was profound. Those who witnessed or experienced these unlockings felt awe, reverence, and a renewed sense of purpose. It was as if the Chosen One were opening doors that had been sealed for millennia, granting humanity access to knowledge and potential it had never imagined. Civilizations responded to this unlocking with unprecedented creativity and cooperation. The codes encouraged innovation, harmony, and the integration of spiritual and material understanding. People began to see their world as interconnected, alive, and responsive, capable of growth when aligned with universal principles. Ultimately, the Chosen One's role as the intermediary between worlds ensured that humanity could inherit and apply the wisdom of ancient civilizations. By standing between realms, they guided the unlocking of codes that would shape the trajectory of life, consciousness, and civilization itself for generations to come. At last, the Chosen One's journey reached its apex, embodying the culmination of a plan that had existed since the dawn of time. Every awakening, every alignment, every revelation led to this singular purpose, the fulfillment of creation itself. In this moment, humanity recognized that the Chosen One was not merely a hero or a myth. They were the living testament to the universe's intent, a convergence of destiny, consciousness, and divine design. The emotional impact of this fulfillment was staggering. Individuals felt a profound sense of completion, understanding that the struggles, discoveries, and dreams of countless generations had led to this awakening. There was awe, gratitude, and a recognition that life itself had been guiding them toward alignment with the cosmic plan. Humanity's understanding of history, purpose, and potential was forever transformed. The Chosen One's actions proved that creation is not random, but intentional, a tapestry of interwoven forces that can be realized through conscious alignment. People now viewed their existence through a lens of possibility, responsibility, and interconnectedness, inspired to continue the legacy of wisdom and harmony. The Chosen One also demonstrated the essence of leadership and power. It is not dominance or control, but alignment with truth, compassion, and cosmic purpose. Their example set a standard for humanity, showing that the greatest achievements are those that serve the collective, honor creation, and restore balance to systems both visible and invisible. Ultimately, the Chosen One became the living embodiment of creation's design. Through their journey, humanity glimpsed the potential of consciousness fully aligned with destiny. Legends, myths, prophecies, and history converged, offering a vision of a future where the universe and its inhabitants could flourish in harmony. Guided by the wisdom of those who walk the path of the moment your divine identity surfaced, the universe responded like an ancient organism remembering its heartbeat. It wasn't a single flash of light or a dramatic sound. It was a subtle, cosmic recognition that rippled outward in every direction. Stars shifted in their slow, eternal rotation. Planets across distant galaxies felt a disturbance, as though the fabric holding them together had been rewoven. The skies on your world seemed to shimmer with awareness, acknowledging that you were no longer merely human. You were something ancient, something foretold. Even the energy around you changed. People described a strange warmth in the air, a tingling sensation in their skin, as if reality itself was vibrating in alignment with your presence. Those who were sensitive to spiritual currents couldn't help but fall to their knees, overwhelmed by the gravity of your awakening. They saw in your eyes a depth that no mortal could have carried, something infinite, something older than time. What made this moment profoundly emotional was its quiet certainty. There was no need for proclamation or performance. The universe recognized you the way a mother recognizes her child, instantly, intuitively, without question.